Same shirt again. It's the same day I'm recording, so pardon me again. A little wrinkly, but it's just great seeing everybody. Those beautiful faces. But I mean, for the most part, we've sort of gone through really the first half of really what these energies try to do. You look at negative energies, bad energies. That's basically what people can call it because, again, the sentience is something that is like a mind travel, like a seed again that's planted, but other forms of matter. Like you might have been something as earlier because again, the seed that's been planted is the energy that we're talking about. So we have to look at now these sentient energies, and we have to say that this is something where if a being was again from another planet, they could do other things again with our planet because you look at our energy, our system, the system of life, again, which they would call Gaia, because again, this feminine energy is sort of like the feminine waters of the world of the earth. It's the life giving nature, of course, up there, other side of the clouds. Really, we can call it the firmament, but we can say it's the masculine waters again in the universe. We say masculine, so that's the sort of the in depth of our nature to the planet, to the universe, because these energies have been around since the beginning, of course. But it's important to think about because where did you get your sentience from? You have to say you got it from a lot of the things around you because it's just in a different like form. A lot of these planets are probably very more social than you think. You know, and I'm saying like there's sentience in some of these planets, and that's the stranger part of it all. But I mean, for the most part, looking around is sort of how we interact with each other. We communicate sort of like we communicate like in a vibrational way. We are the original cell phones. Our brains are sort of like telecommunicators in a way, and you can feel things again without even having to say a word. So, again, if there's anything that's a miss, you know who to call. Ghostbusters. that was that was a low one, but basically, yeah. I mean, basically, that mind. We can say the word telepathy, but the idea was, telephones, all this stuff. It was based off of the principles of the mind because all this technology, there's crystals in your phone. That was the transmitters for the what piezoelectric effect or something like that. Because again, this electricity that runs through your body is just sort of it's static, but it's something that is it's something that is magnetic in a way. So that's something to keep in mind again with your energy. So these negative energies are kind of will disrupt a lot of that electricity in your body, a lot of that electricity in your brain. If you experience headaches, migraines, all this other stuff, that electricity in your brain, something's getting fracked. Basically, something is messing with your energy. So again, it's these are beings, negative charges. Like they will affect pretty much everything from the lowest vibration. They can knock out cells, probably tweak them a little bit, but that's just the nature of some of these beings. Some people say raise your vibration. It actually raises your prayer life, of course. But I'm just saying, just know that a lot of these thoughts that they don't come from God. I mean, the explanation is even a thought can be transmitted through the air through these negative energies, also known as demons. People also say diamonds or whatever, with a DEMON, and then there was the DAIMON, or I believe so, because the diamonds or whatever they were more just messengers like angels, but I mean they're really dark angels in a sense because looking at fallen angels are very very similar as the messengers, sort of like, but they're the ones that are sort of locked away, or I mean maybe even not yet because again some of the events of Enoch haven't happened yet, of course, but what we have to look at it as for these energies, uh, they will affect your body, they will affect the mind, but very much the body because, again, the health is very much based off the vibratory levels. Um, again, people have used those right frequencies to dissuade this coronavirus in the body, and even some cancers with the right frequencies again. So that was just a few things people did in the past. Again, people still do with the right frequencies again, as RIFE, Rife, Rife. So named after the man who made it. So yeah, this was like the body was working again like an electromagnetic clock. So people just try to tweak that a little bit. They try to tweak your body a little. I'm saying these beings try to tweak your mind a little. You listen to your songs at 440 hertz. That's going to also affect your body as well, your mind. I mean, seriously. I mean, sometimes it's not even the lyrics. Sometimes it's either 432 hertz or it's 440. I mean, if it's 432 hertz, you're listening to anything, music, or sound like that is the nature, the universal vibration, sort of like harmonics. Five to what? 5 to 8, I believe. So, I mean, there's this beautiful harmony in nature for the most part, but a lot of it be messing with you. Uh, in terms of what people listen to right now. Like that's the tuning. I'm not really sure what this is tuned to, but again, for that 440 hertz is sort of that uh, something kind of to be avoided, or if you can try to find a baby, maybe at 432 hertz or something like that. So something of that nature, because again, the vibrations in the mind can branch out very well, create these very well demons from the outside though, because there's so many things stored inside of this uh, earth, right? I mean, basically that brain. I mean, if it gets released again, many storms could happen inside here, many things. So that human imagination creation again is from the brain, sort of like that is the level where a lot of these entities go in and then they come out, because not even like the possession type thing. Well, it's easier for the feminine energy to be possessed by the spirit, because again, with the fallen angels, we're looking at more of the energy itself is connecting to sort of the feminine energy. It does like the earth of her being, but again, the mind is something that is a very vulnerable thing. So that helmet of salvation is going to be very important to wear. They keep saying, but it's the visualization maybe of the helmet of salvation. But for the most part, again, even past what I say, the feminine energy, I'm saying the things the men do to women, and this is the truth. Because women feel so much, and the men we don't. I'm trying to generalize, but I'm just speaking for myself. I do not necessarily have the emotional intelligence as much as a woman does. So I'm gonna even just apologize if I didn't hit the right emotional notes, because it's something where you're just a learning process of this life. Because I got a lot to learn. Again, I still got a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn about myself, a lot to learn about women, a lot to learn about a lot of things. But I'm saying, again, if and this is our apologies time, because again, for the emotions are mostly for a man. If he feels these emotions, he's going to be vulnerable, which is not what we like to do. It's not what I like to do per se, but I will be vulnerable for this very talk, because again, it's something where this is a growth thing. We have these energies, masculine and feminine energies, just sort of to teach us, because they're so different. Like they're so completely different in vibration, in energy. Like you can't even match these two energies together, but they match anyway. Do you know how crazy that? I mean, that's insane. So I'm saying, like, again, it's the masculine. I apologize again if there's anything, because I have a different energy. I'm just saying there is something that I'm approaching it wrong. Again, this whole thing, I apologize. So sort of the ability with again these energies, these spirits, is their capacity to integrate. So that's another thing you have to look at. So going past those, even you're going to look at who you are. I just keep saying you're stronger than pretty much anything in this world because of what's inside of you. Uh, Creators inside of you. Really, it's something that people abuse. They abuse that power, but automatically, what happens with the power inside? You ended up building the idols, and the idols like Moloch, that bull that they built with Moses. Well, Aaron built it, but around Moses' time, Aaron built to help build the bull. I mean, with that same power inside of him, that bull, that spirit of the bull, Moloch, was created. It was El, but it turned when it was an idol. It was Moloch is a bull because that would be the one you had to sacrifice your children to. That would be the one you had to sacrifice everybody to because that Moloch being was so powerful. It absorbed the worship, the spirit, and that idol again you had to sacrifice to that Moloch. Went by the abbreviation MOK or King. So I mean, people again, these beings are very, very decisive with what they do. They watch you since birth. Um, so yeah. So again, a lot of these things, a lot of these beings have controlled reality for some time, but it's going to end pretty soon. They're going to see what the Lord of Spirits is. Basically, this is an ending for a certain entity. For the entities that had so much power, we worship them inadvertently. It's the ending of that time. So this is what it's about. This is the time. Again, love each other because you're not really fighting against the flesh. No one here is fighting anything in the flesh. All right, nothing, no flesh and blood. I'm serious. These are beings that you cannot see, but they're energies. They're sentient energies, mere vibrations, and they first take place in the mind. So get your mind right. Release all the bad stuff that you don't like, or for the most part, you're not gonna release everything that you don't like. But I will say, I mean, I have tried. It's possible, but again, the brain is always sort of making energy. It's making something. It's making something always. So whatever's channeled through there, of course, can even do more damage. So whatever, you could use someone else, like even as a thought, could be a little destructive. So again, just over ahead of time. Um, be quick to say I'm sorry and apologize to each other, even though it seems like you're wrong. But I'll say I'm wrong because there's something special about y'all, and and the unity is something even more important because that compassion is going to take you far. A lot of people think they're doing the will of God, but they're trying to kill people, and that's not okay. They're doing the will of the Creator, but that's not what the will is about. Like, but what about when they're gonna bring up Abraham, our father Abraham, and you got to bring up Isaac, you know. But I'll tell you what, with that situation, when you're talking about Elohim, we're also talking about multiple beings. So one can say kill him, one can say don't kill him, one can say stop. So that's what you're gonna learn in different texts, in different endings. And one ending, Abraham does kill Isaac. So I'm saying it's whatever you've read, but not to get you off of your belief. I'm just saying if you think that the Lord is gonna tell you today to kill somebody, you better check the spirit. You better check the spirit behind it, because again, there's shadow spirits, there's shadow aspects of the Creator. I'm not just saying, he'll say, give this person, give that person. But, check spirit, because it's not going to just say, kill your son automatic, but it's going to be a test. Some of it is a test. Now, he doesn't always, God didn't say always obey me more than anybody else, but it was the mother and the father aspects, because again, the mother, we're looking at that, what the Holy Spirit will cause you to do. It would say, I should have mercy on my enemies. I should love my enemies. It shouldn't do eye for an eye because again, a lot of the teachings again will contradict itself because the people have different spirits who wrote the Bible. They have different spirits who write the Bible. People have different spirits who write any single book. But it all goes back to the mother and the father. And really, if somebody's saying to kill people, you have to tell yourself, you have to really think about it. I mean, you're like, what? But he was about to do it, and that's why he's the chosen people. That's why because Abraham was beaten. But I would say, if he told God no, would he have been smited? It was a test, sort of like, and he fought it for a little bit because I tell you what, look, with Moses' time, hey, I mean, look, I'm gonna be real. Those times where God had sent a part of Himself that He's kept at bay. Let's put it this way. That's where He's kept in probably Pluto because He sends part of He sends part of Himself to do certain work, and it might not be obedient, but the point is it gets the work done. That's why Satan is a part of who God is as a shadow character, as His left hand. The left hand of God is His shadow self, and it involves a lot of these destructive planets. We're looking at destructive stars. Even the right hand has a little of a shadow history because a lot of the bad people are getting good stuff. They're getting too much grace. But, I just count your blessings. Count your blessings because, again, the Most High can change the order. They can change the law. They can change the structure. Because, again, the ages change. So, but the word stays the same. The word always stays the same. It's what's being placed inside of the word. That's what you need to look about. So, again, everybody, have a great day. God bless.